Hi, Leanne Benton here. Today we're going to be creating our first block using our Quilt Builder card deck. This is the first set, and we're going to create the very first square that they have for us called Art Square, the very first block that they have. You have 3 different choices for colors. You can use A, B, or C. You can use all 3. You can use just 2 if you want to. This back shows you with 2 just as on a grayscale. But you can also, if you use the cutting chart on the inside, you could see that you could have some different options for that. You could go up to maybe 3 colors if you wanted to. Or you could even change it up and make more. But I've gone with 2 different colors, 2 different layouts, and I'll show you those in just a minute. So let's get started. Alright, for this project, the first thing you're going to want to do is have your card out and ready to use. You're going to have 3 different sections. You're going to start with cutting your sections for your 2-inch blocks, which are, for A, you're going to have 2 inches. For B, you're going to have 2 3/8 inches. And for C, you're going to have 2 3/8 inches as well. I just made these little sticky notes just so I would not get confused on what pieces go where. So my 2-inch blocks are going to go here. My 2 3/8 inch blocks, which are going to be my light pink and my dark pink blocks, they would go here, and then my darker ones would go here. So I have all my pieces together, sorted out and ready to go. So we have our 3 piles. We have our 2 inches, our 2 3/8 inch, and our 2 3/8 inch for our different pieces. I've got all the pieces made for my blocks, but this is just showing you how that goes about. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, to make some of your pieces are going to be half square triangles. Like you can see right here, the B and the C are half square triangles here. So those are. So what you're going to do, you'll take your B fabric, whatever that is, and your C fabric, and you're going to put them together. If you have a pattern like I have right here, you're going to make sure that it's wrong side in, so that you don't, the back is to you. You want to be sure that pattern is going to show up on your piece. Okay, so wrong sides together, and you're going to take your ruler. I got a little square one, and you're going to draw a line from one corner to the other corner. Okay, and I love these water soluble pencils from Clover. They work wonderfully. There's a pink and a blue and a white, and once you wash them or add water, you can get that pencil marks off. It doesn't stay on there. Okay, now you got your line. That's the line you're going to cut, but you have to draw 2 more lines on either side. 1 scant 1/4 inch is what you're going to have. So 1/4 of an inch is on this ruler. Here is 1/2 of an inch right there, the ones at it. 1/4 of an inch is here, and then your scant is even less than that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your, let's use this one. You're going to put it here. I want that line. I'm going to put it right on the other side of that middle line, because my pencil lines are kind of fat, and they're gonna you know, it'll make it a little bit more than what I want it to be. So getting right on the other side of that line, and I'm going to use a white one. We'll use the white this time so you can see that line. Okay, and there's my scant 1/4 of an inch, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So going to use my middle line this time to measure up with, going here, right on the middle of it, and then I'm going to draw my line again here. So good. I have a scant 1/4 of an inch on either side. Those are the lines that I'm going to sew. with my foot, you can see I know that my distance from here to here is about 1/4 of an inch. So if I sew right on this line, my needle is coming down and following that middle line, it makes exactly 1/4 of an inch. Same thing on the other side. I'm sewing, it looks like it's a teeny bit off right there at the end, but I'm sewing again that middle line, all the way down. It makes 1/4 of an inch. And then my block should be precise. So let's see if that happens. So here you can see I have sewn on either side of that blue line. I've sewn here on this white line and here on this one. You're going to take your scissors next and you're going to cut on that blue line that I made right down the middle, okay? And cutting. You're going to take your block that you've just cut over to the your ironing station, and you're going to press that down. You'll want to be sure that you press the seams to the darker side, or if you do open seams, you can do it that way. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I do have the open seams, sometimes I don't. But I have, you can see, pressed to the darker side on these because this is going to show up underneath if I don't. I don't want that darker fabric showing up underneath my lighter fabric. So I'm pressing to the darker side. You can see I've got these finished and these are finished. So you're going to press those open. So once you get your pieces all cut and or assembled and ready to go, you can start laying it out. You'll take your card and you're going to say I need, the A squares are going to go in the middle. So for one of mine, I used the pattern, so the A squares are going to go in the middle. Let's scoot this down so I can have a little more work room. So my A squares are going all in the middle. And they're also going to go on my 4 corners on the outsides. So my 8 squares and my 4 corners. And then I had the darker pink that I was going to go on the edges. So that's my lighter pink and my darker pink, and my lighter pink is outlining. So that goes here and here. It makes a lighter triangle on the inside. Same thing here and here. My lighter triangle on the inside. This piece here, lighter triangle on the inside. And my last one, lighter triangle on the inside. However you want to go about sewing these and putting them together, that's up to you. Usually I start by sewing the inside square together, so one side, and then sew these two together, and then sew it and make the whole square together, okay? So I will show you that, and then I'll come back and show you some more parts. So you can see here I've got my first 2 blocks of each part sewn together. You're going to line these up and then you're going to sew them. If you have to, you can use pins to hold these so it doesn't slip and slide around. Pinning is winning if that's what you'll need to do. So you'll just make sure these 2 middle ones are lined up. Little pin in here, however you do your pins. Another one could go right here, and then one more here on the other end. You can see I pressed these seams open, so that's your open seams. That's what that looks like. Here is where I've pressed it to the to one side or the other, the darker side in that case. Okay, so we're going to sew this together, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the other parts. Alright, I'll need to go press in just a minute, but I'm going to sew a few more things to this and then I'll press all those at once. So that section's done. Next I'm going to sew this section together and this section together, and then I'll attach it to here. So let me show you that. Now, since these pieces are joined that I talked about and this piece is joined, the next thing I'm going to do is make my little rows. I'm going to add the end pieces here. I'm going to add these two end pieces here and these two end pieces here. Okay? And again, pinning if you need to. No big problem with that. So here you can see our finished block. All the pieces are put together. And we have the other color. I remember I said I had two that I wanted to use, so I'm going to put these together and then I'll show you both blocks. I'm going to do the next square a little bit different colorway. I'm going to, again, just like before, get my pieces laid out and then start pressing my little groups together, sew and press these together. And then I'll do this section, next section, and however works for you. That's the system that I've got that I'm happy with. And for the last part of this project, we will connect these pieces together. And then those together, okay? So, sewing and pressing again. So, all done with our art square card. Let's see what we have. We have our block number 1 with our flower print on the inside and the 4 corners. We have our block number 2 with the hot pink and the square in the middle and the 4 corners with a lighter on the outside. And then here's one, a whole different colorway. We have the square, the giant square, one color, and then the 4 corners that same color. So we have a square here, big square here, encompassing the whole piece. So there's lots of different ways you can do this. I hope you experiment, have your favorite, and maybe you can even make a couple of blocks to different ways using the colors that you enjoy. All right, thank you. See you next time, and we'll have a card number 2. Again, this today was Art Square from our Quilt Builder card deck number 1. Art Square. Thanks.